Hello YouTube, Ian from the bedroom here, your guitar junkie. Yeah, I can't play that well because of my recent surgery on my shoulder, so I'm kind of fluffing it. But yeah, I don't this is a Harley Benton what is it, BM 75 Deluxe Series, and as cool as it is, this is probably going to be my go-to single coil Stratocaster kind of twangy sound, only because the pickups, they have such a quack, you know, a brightness to them, and these switches, this is a 5-way, so here we go. Now this is what the switch is. So, you know, I can't figure it out. Let's do a little overdrive on here. See what we have. Let's really give it some dirt. don't know. My hands are off. I've got it on my dirty channel. That's my 57 Marshall tone on my amp with my overdrive pedal. Let's give it another overdrive. See what happens. It's pretty quiet right now. That's what I use for boost. So, I ran it through my Carbon vintage tube, 50 watt, clean, and then I went through the Marshall. It does give you different tones, but I really can't describe what those tones would be. I can't give you a definition as to what happens, because when I interface the pickups, let's just say, if I go from, let's just say this is 1 to 5. If I go at 2 between the neck and the middle pickup, and then I switch 1 or 2 of these up, I get a thick warm sound like I'm still in the neck pickup. And same thing with the bridge. When I go down to the 5th, if I go in between and I'm on the 4th, and between the 3rd and the 5th, and I switch these up, I get a thicker sound, as if I'm either on the pickup itself. So the only thing I could describe it is when you do the interphase, which would be 2 and 4, and you use the switches, I believe you're turning, instead of parallel and series, I believe you've got both pickups cranked as if they were both on at the same time, without splitting it or without having them in parallel or series. Now, I don't remember. I get them confused all the time, whether a single coil is parallel, or then when you split it with another pickup it's series, or vice versa. So, it is interesting. It does have a whammy bar. That's the back. That's the back of, it's supposed to be, I believe, a mahogany body set neck. The cutout on here, even though you've got this block, you can really get past that and really get down to the 24th fret. This fingerboard is just beautiful. I'll try to put what it is in the comments. It's some type of rosewood. It's like a really dark brown, close to black, but I can see a tinge of brown in there, with 24 nickel frets with the abalone dot inlays. I wish the dot inlays were a little bit brighter, if I'm being honest, because the binding around the neck where the dots are is really what I'm looking at while I'm playing, because of the abalone dots being pretty dark in color. They don't stand out. See, if I tilt the light down, you really can't see them. When I get into the light, they come up, but they're pretty dark colored. I wish they were brighter so that they would pop. You could see them a lot better. Like I said, I've not put the tremolo in it and tried it at all, only because of my shoulder. I still can't operate a tremolo bar. I don't think I will on this. I think I would just play it like a standard Strat. Um, you do have Grover tuners in the back, and you know, it says Deluxe up there by the headstock. So it's a lightweight guitar. I think this is lighter than the Rosewood Telecaster that I had in the other video. This probably feels about maybe 5 pounds. Volume and tone. You've got a 5-way selector switch, and you've got these, I think they're interphase switches. They don't coil tap or split. I think they, like I said, I think they phase the pickups, series or parallel. That's my best guess, and I am just guessing with it. It looks like I could make this a floating bridge because it looks kind of maxed out on the body. I guess because of the angle I could see it on, I think I could bring it up to make it a floating bridge to go up and down. But right now it just looks like if I did put the whammy bar in it, which it is just a screw-on whammy bar, that's what it came with. It threads in. I think I would only be able to dive bomb on it, but it's got the flute, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, on the back of the neck, which I just dig that on guitars. I think it not only does it look cool, but I feel like it's going to give more tone and stable, make the neck more stable. And the neck on here, this is like this is almost like an Ibanez thin neck. And I say Ibanez because you know, they were the first ones that were coming out with the Wizard necks and the ultra thin necks. This is a, you know, and again, I think this is a mahogany set neck. This is you know, a pretty thin neck. It's super comfortable, super thin, and you know, you just gonna have to give me a couple of more weeks before I could really let loose on this thing to heal. For you to really hear it, what it can do. But you know, growing up, my 4 favorite bands of all time, well, I should say 3 at first. When I was a kid, I was born in 1960, so my 3 bands growing up were Deep Purple, Santana, and then Kiss. Yes, Kiss Army. The lead guitar player, Ace Frehley, I was friends with his cousin, and we hung out, and again, it's his cousin, and his cousin could care less about Kiss music or music in general, basically. And then when I was in high school, when I started in my 10th year, I was stuck in 12th grade classes, so I was supposed to graduate early and only do a year and a half or so of high school. So when I was in 10th grade, I was actually in 12th grade classes. So I had to make all new friends with 12th graders, and you know, I found one guy that was into Kiss, no one that was into Santana, but man, people were like, you know, going on about Queen, saying they were like opera rock, you know, and of course, you know, when that song hit the radio, that was it. For some reason, I can't think of a stupid #1 hit song that was even in Wayne's World. Can't think of the song. See? So many every time you go under anesthesia, man, something gets plucked away. But yeah, so that's when I learned about Queen, and I liked them. You know, I had I think an 8-track at the time, and I had it even when I had, you know, in the 70s and early 80s, when I still had an 8-track in a car. I would play, you know, the Queen 8-track, you know, but I wasn't like a mega, you know, fan. After that, I was turned on to Van Halen in the early 80s, and I know Van Halen came out in the 70s, and I was turned on to them. I was working late one night, and Eruption came on the radio, and I thought I died and went to heaven when I heard that song. I was like, ooh, you know, like, oh, they're calling me. And then everyone had to find out what the hell he was doing and how he was doing it. But fortunate for me, I was able to meet two of my favorite guitar heroes, Ritchie Blackmore from Deep Purple and Eddie Van Halen from Van Halen. You know, the Brian May stuff, I didn't realize, you know, I thought by the sound of it that this guy was playing the Gibson, and I really never saw like videos of him playing. And then, you know, all of a sudden I saw him playing a guitar like this, and I didn't realize that he actually built it from like the mantle from his fireplace out of his house and spare parts. And I'm quite impressed by not only the ability that this guy, him and his father, built this amazing guitar, but his, you know, his guitar ability to play. So, you know, something happens where, again, this is a copy. So this is a Harley Benton. This isn't like the Brian May copy from Brian May. That really, I think what happens with those is you could turn on the pickups at the same time. You might be able to get all three, two or all three on at the same time, or something like these two on at the same time, these two. And that's how he gets that that thick, like Gibson tone out of a single coil pickup, which is, you know, a lot of times you got to turn the tone all the way down to like 2 or 3 to get that. But, you know, I have this like I have it on all of them. I have it up to 7. I keep all my tones between 7 and 8. But yeah, so this is it, you know. This is going to be added to my top 10, so now it'll be top 11 that I won't sell, only because, you know, like the one up there behind me, that one up on top, it's just so cool, you know. It's just a cool looking guitar. It's thin, it's lightweight, and you know, I could probably, you heard it when I added it with 2 overdrive pedals along with my Marshall amp, and that was on my 2nd channel. My 3rd channel is even heavier, and then my 4th channel is even heavier than that. So I think I could really get a thick rocked out tone out of this guitar if I wanted to. But the clean sound, you heard it was a little spanky when I was doing the other stuff. I was trying to remember. I said to myself, well, let's just do something clean, and what clean came out of my head was, you know, the James Bond. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, oh man, I forgot how to do, you know, I'd have to relearn it. I have to practice it, and you know, I know my way around the fingerboard, so I know when I'm hitting the notes where I'm supposed to be, because I go by ear. And I was like, oh man. And then I was trying to do Peter Gunn, and then I was trying to do the song that I wrote, you know. It was like, so I'm going to have to go back and do some homework on all my playing. And again, like I said, I used to play my songs over and over all the time, at least once or twice a week, so I won't forget them. And I've been slacking off on that and playing different stuff. But yeah, so that's it. This was, I believe this was, I think this was 268, I think it was, 268 bucks. It came with a pretty decent cord, not the little cheap plastic one, but one of these metal end cords. And it came with a case, a Toman gig bag. Not a case, a gig bag. A nice padded one. You want to see it? Yeah, I'll grab it. So it came with this. It was a bundle deal. So you've got your pocket, putting books and cables and pedals in. And for your strings, you know, it feels like 1/4 inch of padding, but I have to say that it's better than some gig bags that I've seen that came with guitars. They were more like a dust cover with a handle, and you were afraid the handle was going to fall off and it was going to hit the floor. And I like the shoulder straps. Anytime a gig bag has shoulder straps, I think that's just the best thing, because that's the best way to carry a guitar in a gig bag. Is put it on your shoulder, then you've got your amp, your pedal board, and you're ready to rock and roll, baby. All right, YouTube. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the, you know, a little bit long, but what can I tell you? I wanted to try to show you all the tones and options out of this guitar. You try to figure it out. Pick one up. Tomans. You'll like it just as I did. Even if whether you're a Brian May or Queen fan,